Stephanie Dobson is back with us this week. Stephanie is a lawyer and mediator with Hankin Divorce Law and Mediation here in Lloydminster. Stephanie, thanks for joining us once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me as always, Stacey.
So, Stephanie, we are basically have kind of restarted the process of talking about preparing for separation and divorce. And continuing the theme, we had our first episode last week. So this week, we're going to be talking about basically your specialty, which is mediation and marital mediation, obviously. So tell me, what exactly is marital mediation?
I'm going to sort of diffuse this a little bit because mediation as is a process. It's a negotiation process where a third party, a skilled third party, is helping people to resolve something. So that's generally what mediation is. And a lot of people will lump that into divorce mediation. So divorce mediation would be a third party mediator helping people to resolve the issues around their divorce. Now, if we take that and we say, what is the marital mediation? It's really, as it sounds, it's a way for a mediator, a third party, to help couples who actually want to stay married. So it's mediation to stay married. So families who are couples who might be having issues or disputes which needs to be resolved, and they want to actually either get their relationship back on track or keep it on track and even deepen it more.
So what are some of the topics then, Stephanie, that it could be discussed through marital mediation?
Well, just like any mediation, I tell every family I work with that we start everything with a blank slate. So mediation is for any topics that you may want to resolve. Now, there's some typical topics in a divorce, just like there's some typical topics in marital mediation. So it may be specific issues that are that the couple's having challenges with, or it might be some things that couples want to work out for the future. So for example, you might have finances that you're having trouble with. One person's a saver and one's a spender. And, how do we make sure that we meet both of what we're looking for? Or parenting issues, right? Maybe you're already parents and you're having trouble with, the dividing the roles of who does what, or maybe you're just about to be parents and you want to figure out how we're going to do that sort of going into the future, or even, how the household will run, or good old communication. Don't we all know that one of the main reasons that I find anyway that people separate is because of poor communication and ineffective communication. So we can help to boost that up and help you, or even, how assets and debts will be managed. So it's a wide scope.
Well, and kind of narrowing it down a bit, Stephanie, what could be the motivation behind a couple looking into marital mediation?
Well, in any relationship, there's always going to be issues or disputes which arise. We all know. If a couple recognizes that there's issues, sometimes people say, we want to give it one last try. We want to work through some things. We're not sure that we want to separate. We think we might want to separate. Let's give one more kick at it. Let's try to see how we can build something. And there's a lot of times there's a stigma there. I wish there wasn't such a stigma, but there seems to be a stigma around, let's go to marriage counseling. And a lot of times people don't want to go to marriage counseling. And so, this is not counseling, but I use it sort of as what I call an alternative to counseling, where it's really just a third party to help teaching spouses or parents how to build that solid foundation, even going down below the tip of the iceberg into understanding kind of what's the root of your dispute and how can we help to avoid that in the future. Or even creating some mutual understandings about how to build their relationship. At the end of the day, in marital mediation, what you come out with is a series of agreements, little agreements, big agreements, written agreements, maybe even just leave them verbal. But basically, it's how do we take these agreements and use them to get our relationship back on track?
Well, Stephanie, this is a really great thing, I think, for couples and maybe even couples who don't realize that it's available to them. Mm-hmm. So if they're looking for more information and want to get started in the process, how can they find that information?
So as always, head to our website. We have lots and lots of information on there. Under our services section of our website, excuse me, there's a tab for mediation, and within there we've got all of the information on marital mediation. Or as always, really simple, call our office for more information. The number for that is 780-875-2234.
All right, Stephanie, well, thank you so much for joining me. Some great information as always, and we'll chat with you again next week.
Thanks, Stacey.